Hello loveliest people of the world. Today I came up with a family recipe which is actually a meatball, and this recipe is from my grandma, my aunt Emine, and I've learned it through her. It involves a bit of meat and a lot of potatoes, and more than making a meatball, there is a technique which you might not ever seen in any other meatball, and it's using the starch of the potato. And how it works is going to be in the video. I promise you this is a meatball that everyone in the family will enjoy. If you're ready, we can start. For this recipe, we need half a kilo of ground meat. It could be beef, it could be pork, any meat that you would like to use. It needs a bit of fat. Other than that, we need 3 potatoes. If it's an old one, it's even better. And an onion to garlic, a bit of herbs and spices, and an egg. Everything starts with grinding these 3 potatoes. Normally, I do not peel the potatoes anymore, but because this was an old recipe of mine, the crew prepared the potatoes, deskinning them. But now we don't do that. What do? We just clean it with a scrub and use it directly. Normally, the grater has like 4 sides, but actually 2 often used. One is big like this. The other side is thinner. This is too thin. If it was a little thicker, I would have used this. So if you have something in the middle, it's better. Of course, you can grate it in a processor. I didn't want to dirty the processor for just 3 potatoes. Grating. If you just do this, you're gonna have small straight. If you do this, you're gonna have bigger ones. For this, we need medium size. Normally, the potatoes, they have a lot of water in them. When I squeeze it like this, as you can see, a lot of water gets out. And we have to get rid of this water when we are making this beautiful meatball. Why? Because it's going to be inside the meat, and if it has water, in the time of the meat gets cooked, the potatoes will stay raw if you do not take the excess water out. If you take the water out really well, it will also give a crunch. If you are not able to take the water out sufficiently, it will be a soft meatball. It will be harder to cook. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of salt. This way, this is going to increase the taste of the potatoes as well. I didn't first put the salt and then squeeze it. I first squeezed the first water out and then add the salt. Otherwise, salt would soak some of the water, and I didn't want to do that. I'm going to let this sit for a little more while. Now, half a kilo of ground beef gets in. We will need an egg to collect everything together and to increase the taste. To increase the taste again, and also for tenderizing, we will need an onion, grating again. Normally, I love the onion's juice. This time, we don't have any breadcrumbs, etc., etc. I'm not going to use all of the water. I'm going to leave it a bit like this here. For the last minute, if my köfte is stiff and thick, good, I'm going to use it. If it's not, because sometimes depending on the onion, it might. But I didn't squeeze the onion like this, because onion in itself also has water. Wanted to keep it. Why? Because I like what onion juice does to the meat. Opens up the cells. Let all the herbs and the taste increases get into the meat, making it even tastier. Now, normally we're gonna add 2 cloves of garlic, but my cloves are big, so I'm going to add 1 big clove, but the recipe will say 2 cloves of garlic, guys. Something which is funny, in all the TV shows, you just see that garlic getting out, and the rest, as you can see, there's huge amount of garlic. We don't throw that away. We push it back again, put it in like this, but probably not to steal your time. We don't show it. But I believe in showing it because now a new generation of people are growing up thinking this is how you just squeeze the garlic and continue your life. These are now more important. So half a teaspoon of baking soda gets in, heap teaspoon of black pepper, a heap teaspoon of salt, a heap spoon of red flake pepper, and a teaspoon, this is more like a level teaspoon of cinnamon. Hello to our island heritage. The cinnamon used to be used in Istanbul a lot. Turkish Greeks used it, and in Cyprus, my grandma, we all used cinnamon in our köftes. Now in Turkey, not so much, but it's beautiful smelling thing. It might be funny for some of you guys to see it in meat, but it doesn't work as it works in the pastries. It increases the flavor, the meatiness of the meat in a fun way. As you can see, it's not very thick, it's not too soft, it's in good conditions. Now, my potatoes are there and it's set for a while, and now there's this excess water of the potatoes. I take it out like this, and in the bottom, this is the starch of the potatoes. I'm going to show you when it's almost dry. This is the trick. This is going to increase the taste and the crunchiness of the meatball incredibly. And now potatoes get in. From half a kilo of minced meat, you get almost a kilo of meatballs. One of the meanings of bereket. Voila, done. Then I also add some sprigs of parsley, which is like 15 sprigs of parsley. Gets in the last minute, so we get that fresh taste as well while it's cooking. Now, this has to sit for about half an hour for the starch to really work and come to its senses. It can wait if it's a cold day outside, if it's a hot day in the refrigerator for half an hour, then we're gonna be ready to make the meatballs. Now, to shape, we take a badge, we just pat it in our hands and roll it like this. Pat it and roll, pat it and roll. What we want is actually thin corners like this and a thicker belly, basically. Now, this is usually how it's done is deep fry. We always have to deep fry it. No, you can do it in the air fryer. You can do it in the oven. I'm going to put the degrees in here. Oven 220 degrees in the highest rack with the grill on. Air fryer 200 degrees, maximum pound. So that's how it works. But this is how it was traditionally done, so I wanted to show it that way. We have to turn it, of course. Normally when it's a barbecue, you shouldn't, but this one, you have to turn it around for sure. The frying phase is also very important. If the oil is too hot, what will happen? It will change its color immediately, but the inside will not be able to cook. If it's like 150 degrees and it's not too hot, and you fill it with a lot of meatballs, then the degrees in the oil will decrease, and the meatballs will give its water out, and it's going to start to pop, pop, pop. The oil will try to get the water out and it will spray on you, and it's going to be dangerous. So the ideal degrees is going to be bring it to almost the highest, about 200 degrees. And when the meatballs are in, it's going to decrease the heat of the oil. It's going to brown the outside, but before it gets blackened, we want the inside to cook. So reduce the heat, then the inside will slowly cook. That's the tips in cooking. And secondly, for example, I have added 3 more meatballs. Why? When we continue cooking and when the meatballs start to get closer to the degrees of being cooked, the degrees of the oil starts to increase again because there's nothing cold inside to cool it down. So I add few more köftes in so that I don't increase the degrees too much. I can always reduce the heat, but this is energy saving at the same time as well. So small grandma tricks, let's say. So these are cooked. I put it into a sieve like this, so the excess oil gets down. This is the first batch, and we have one more tour to go. This is how prosperous this köfte becomes. Now guys, look at the crunchiness. And the inside is like this. We eat this together with pilau. I think now there's 27 and a half. I have eaten, this is my second one, so 29, almost 30 meatballs. Köftes, actually, a great family thing. If you want the recipe of the rice, it's also on the channel. 29 köftes, almost 30, so 6 people can be heartfelt full from just half a kilo of minced meat. That's the beauty of these regions cooking. And in this video, I wanted to show you something you've never seen before, which was hopefully taking the starch of the potatoes and using it back in the meatballs. You can use this technique in various ways, and how the water of the potatoes include so much starch is, I think, shocking when you first see it. Secondly, in the middle of frying, when the oil heat increases, we want it to decrease because it also shrinks, and there's a space in the pan, putting some more, probably you've never seen before, hopefully. and some sustainability tips were also included. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, I know I sometimes talk too much, but if you watched until here, thank you so much. And thank you for all your support. And we'll try our best to make you smile and be happy. Take great care and lots of love from Istanbul.